Let's get it. Episode 1, SharpTank. Here with a good friend of mine, my buddy Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
And JD, we're rolling sevens. My go-to guys for everything, especially camera-wise and video-wise as well. So we, always want to shout those guys out and give them a hand clap. And for anyone else that's in Vegas, reach out. Solid people, like working with good, solid, trustworthy people. And episode 1. Let's get to it. NBA. Let's talk a little bit.
We're rolling and it's full steam right now.
Yeah,
it's full steam ahead in NBA. There's a couple teams that are just absolutely killing.
Yeah, I mean with no remorse. I mean I see some highlights late at night, 2, 3 in the morning. I'm just like, where did he get on eBay and buy those handlebars? Because some of these guys are looking really, really good. I mean, like, I'm talking dominating. I mean, I posted something on Twitter the other day with Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker did a move that I was just like, how did he get that?
Yep.
I mean, he is really in his bag right now. And
it's the perfect system for him.
And I really do feel that. Honestly, I really do. I feel like he's not the guy that will hold the ball like Chris Paul does.
Or even like last year, Kyrie.
And
Kyrie is a better scorer.
Better scorer.
And he's probably like a better player.
Probably, yeah. But I like the fact that Kemba is very poised. He's very patient with his game. His IQ as far as passing is concerned. The lanes that are created when he has the ball. I mean, like I said yesterday, he did a right-hand crossover move, which basically brought the center out and pushed the ball over the guy's hand. I mean, he literally had no chance of getting the ball whatsoever.
And you can really see that he has no issue deferring at all.
No.
Like you saw that last year where the ball would get stagnant a little bit with Kyrie, and there's none of that going on with Boston right now.
No, I mean, Gordon Hayward. I mean, he's
ascending again.
He doesn't look like he missed a beat. I mean, honestly, he looks like the Utah Jazz, Gordon Hayward, right now.
Right.
And he's playing with confidence. And they look good.
Are you surprised that they've gelled so quickly? The Celtics?
No, because I think Kemba makes the game easy.
Yeah.
If I play with a guy like Kemba, I would probably have to have a jumper, and I would probably have to stay moving. Because you just don't know where this guy's going to end up. And he's so quick and agile and just versatile. And he's just his move. In the street, we call him, hey, he's in his bag. And he has so many moves.
He's got a lot of tricks in the bag.
It's scary. It really is. It's like, do I force him left? Do I force him right? Do I play him straight up? I don't even know. Because if he has a quick little twitch
he's
and
he's going to create the space anyways.
It's scary, dude. It is. He looks phenomenal. There's a lot of guys around the league I think that look really good that I'm actually pretty shocked about. A lot, and they don't get looked at. I mean, they don't talk about them.
Well, it's time. Everybody gets hyped up in the top tier players right off the jump. What's Harden doing? What's Greek Freak doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really. I don't know, man. I'm not really sold on the Harden thing. I mean, I still like Harden. I mean, the guy is still to me almost the best one-on-one player. I mean, the way he creates his shot and things, it's amazing. That's an amazing thing to see. He can score at will. He can score 40 a game.
Are the Rockets a championship contender?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so
and the only reason why I say that is I'm going to stand behind Kobe when it comes to that. That type of style of offensive play won't get you anywhere. I love Westbrook as a person. I would put him in my car and we will ride out. And I know he would have my back and I'd have his back, no matter what. I love the respect he has for the game and how he plays. But he plays too emotional, I think. I think that tends to take over. He takes a lot of bad shots that he probably shouldn't be taking. I think that's always been his kind of problem.
It's like it's been an ongoing thing ever since OKC when he was getting more field goal attempts than Kevin Durant.
Right.
And specifically with this Rockets team and D'Antoni.
I mean, listen, I'm not counting them out. I like what they're doing. They're dangerous. I mean, they can. I mean, this guy could. I mean, they could hit potentially 20, 25 threes before halftime.
I think that's going to be their Achilles heel, though, because they do shoot a lot of threes.
They do.
And Westbrook is a guy that has to be ball dominant. Like,
he has to.
He's not a catch and shoot guy.
He's not a 2.
He's really not.
So to have them both on the floor.
Well, I think I'll give credit to JD for this, but I think that when Harden's on the floor, but without Westbrook, that they're like the number 1 rated team in the entire league.
There they are.
And when Westbrook's on the floor without Harden, they're like number 4 in the league.
They cover second half deficits when they're down.
But when they're not on the court, when they're on the court at the same time, something happens. And
it's not the same as it's not the same as OKC when you had Kevin Durant, James Harden,
to like really separate the thing out, really create.
I mean,
because
when they had those 3, they were still averaging 20 points a game. I mean, each of them had 18, 19, 20, 24. I mean, they were triple threat basically to me. But
it's different roles now. You know?
Yeah. So we got the Celtics 6-1, win percentage .857. Last 10 6-1. Followed by
that number 2 team right there they got to be your dark horse, right? In the East?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be my dark horse. And everybody in their lineup is what 6'5" and above.
We're talking about the Miami Heat here.
I was talking about this.
Are you talking about the Sixers?
The Sixers.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
I like Miami. I think they are, as I said the other day, I think a lot of people overlook. And by the way, I don't think they ever should have been +1.5 against the Suns. The Suns are good right now, but we're only 8 games in the season.
And they're still dealing with their center being out for the whole.
Yeah,
they haven't figured it out.
I like the way they're playing without Ayton.
Do you?
That's just my honest.
Better ball.
Yeah, I just think he just kind of stands around and he. Listen, the kid's good. I'm not taking anything away from him. His athletic ability is amazing. But I just think that they are playing some really good basketball right now. Yeah. And I think that they should probably stick to that core they have now. But, of course, I understand the perception. I understand how things work in the NBA.
They blew it not taking Luka.
Yeah. And that kid is just, honest to God, special.
He's
special. Yeah. Step back, left hand, right hand, over, under, step through, floater. I don't think there is anything I can say bad about the kid. The kid has range. He can shoot from half court. He
plays that Mensa passing basketball
he's
too.
He's happy.
That's a good way to look at it.
And I say this, and I want to really put some emphasis on this. And there are certain players in the NBA, like I go back and forth with guys that play in leagues out here, right? You know, we all play basketball together. We all know each other. We're all in the hoop. We're all right. And a lot of guys, they get on Facebook and they just throw things out there. And I say, listen, I respect everyone's logic and opinion, always. But you got to back it with numbers. You just have to back it.
We've got to see the longevity of the thing, too.
There you go.
That's the biggest thing.
And I'll just say this. Some of these guys they're really good really good on paper. But they have the green light. I'll give you an example about green light. Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Green light. Give me the ball. I want the ball. I'm going to score. I'm going to annihilate you.
Get out of my way.
He had the refs trembling. I forget what game it was. I've seen Vince Carter check out a game against Michael Jordan. Check out.
Give me out of here.
Give me out. That's how afraid people were of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I need a blow.
I've talked to guys that were sitting courtside, and they would say you can see the guys trembling when they played against Michael Jordan. They just could not take the pressure. And I know a few guys, I won't say any names, but that's played with Mike when he played with the Washington Wizards. And they just said, simple as this. I mean, he's Michael Jordan. I mean, he had 2 personalities. It was, hey, everything on the bus. But as soon as he got off the bus and those lights, camera, action, rolled up on him, he turned into a different person. It's like he had to turn into the public Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Camera lights in my face, Michael Jordan. And you get, I can actually understand that. And guys like Trae Young, green light. Trae Young can shoot. Trae Young can go over 12, and he's never going to sit the bench.
No, it's they called it. I think it was originally coined kind of when Mark Jackson was coaching Steph Curry.
Right.
And, because of the injuries, they kind of had to limit his minutes and everything. But once he finally got healthy, they, quote, let him off the leash.
Right.
He stopped playing on this, like like metaphorical leash to the bench, and all of a sudden the guys' games open up.
Because listen, in the NBA, college is one player, maybe possibly two guys on your whole entire roster that's good, right? Mm-hmm. So you go play schools like Manhattan, Rhode Island, Siena.
The list is long.
You play these teams, and these guys are ball dominant. I mean, you take a guy like Morant, you put him on Duke. What? With guys that can rebound and shoot? I mean, you make his job a lot easier. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's going to make it look easier regardless. But certain players, I think, that come into the NBA, they have the green light, which means I can do whatever the hell I want to do. Kobe, green light.
He had the greenest of lights.
Green light.
But he earned it, too.
He earned it.
This whole second half,
of course.
He earned that. Kobe earned the green light.
He had to.
I think everybody does, and that's what we talk about with longevity. Like,
right.
Here's the best example that I can look at in the common day versus like the era that just ended and what we're in now is the comparison between Dirk and KP, Porzingis.
Oh, got it.
Right? They're like on paper, they're very similar players.
Yes.
They're very similar.
Yes.
And people are like, oh, they look at Porzingis' skills and they just see like literally a unicorn, right? Like he's better than Dirk. Like, no, he's not.
Listen, Dirk is.
We got to see the time. We got to have time. Time.
Dirk was a monster. I mean,
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. I mean, I used to watch him and would be like, that's money. Every time the shot went up, it just was money. I mean, and I say this too. A lot of guys don't understand. Guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and guys that are 6'8", 6'9", that are shooting the ball from 28 to 30 feet out, they can see the back of the rim. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of guys, short guys like me, took a long time to understand.
They're playing above the rim.
Not only can they palm the ball, as you see Kawhi, who I think it's scary on the court. He's so calm and he's so calculated and so fundamental. It's like 1-2, and he's already up. I mean, if you see him come at the top of his jumper, it's kind of like pushing forward.
Well, and he's so long, he can just get away from you.
Yeah. And I played against a guy in the league, older guy. He was, he was. I think he was. I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, I just can't think of it. I think he was like a leading scorer in some Division II basketball league in California. But obviously, he's the OG now, and the guy's 50 plus. But he used to rise up and shoot the ball like that, and I could never time it. I mean, no matter how hard of a defense I played on a guy that can jump off the ground and delay his jumper and get it off right when you jump. I mean, it's hard to guard.
You know what they say? We shoot over those.
Yeah, it's very difficult. So
he shoots over those.
Yeah. So I mean, he's just very. When it comes to the Clippers, I think everyone's just having fun. No one's like, give me the ball, as you see with the Lakers, if you've seen with teams with LeBron. I mean, come on, Tristan Thompson. Really? You got paid all that money just because LeBron said, hey, rebound and give me the ball.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
He was the benefit. He benefited of the right
if
time.
You can rebound and give me the ball. Hey, max contract. Kevin Love, come here. Hey, buddy. Yep. Same thing.
It was the right timing too, though.
Yeah,
if it was 2 years prior, he wouldn't have got all that money because the cap just exploded. And then they won. I think it was right. I think it was right after they won the title that he got all that money. Mm-hmm. Unless it was before, but I think it was after. And it was just the right timing for Tristan Thompson. But he's still averaging a double-double this year.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, he kind of has to. I mean, what else you gonna do over there?
But Kevin Love is out rebounding him, I believe.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Was he like yesterday? Maybe.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Okay.
Because
you've been tracking.
Yeah, Kevin Love, higher scorer, 0-12-1 the Cavs are. So got that from a good source on Twitter. Yeah, so we've been kind of tracking that and checking that out. And, obviously we've been keeping a lot of track of our own data as well. Second half, obviously you guys, that's basically my specialty, and a couple guys that I've put underneath my wing are our specialty.
Kevin Love's averaging 14.5 boards a game. Tristan Thompson's averaging 11.6.
11.6. Oh, okay, there you go. Yep. What, 27 rebounds
between the two of them?
Between the two of them? Okay, not bad. And they are a sleeper team.
They're young, but I mean they've got like they're top heavy, like they've got the veterans there, but their guard play is so young and inconsistent.
I'll tell you what happened last year because I paid attention to it. Last year the Cavs used to get blown out in the first half, every time they were losing by, I want to probably say 10 to 12 points at halftime, they covered their second half line. It was kind of scary last year. It was kind of like the +1.5 second half, and I think this year the +1 is 8-1 so far. Don't quote me. I think I'm correct there. I don't have all those numbers in front of me right now, but yeah.
But those are the games where they get blown out in the first half, and then you kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah.
And you play up and down to your competition, so if you
That's
blow them
true.
out in the first half.
And
a lot of these teams let their foot off the pedal. It's NBA.
They kind of do retarded things. Yeah, they kind of do things that I'm just like, what? Like, I've seen Atlanta Hawks before Trae Young was there, up 16 points, and I seen him shoot. No bullshit. I posted this in second half, guys. I mean, in the full game, guys, when I had it around, they shot 11 3-pointers while being up 16. Why would you ever shoot 11 threes when you're up 16? I don't think that's smart at all.
The game flow matters, but they should be running the clock a little bit, getting into pick and roll.
There you go, time of possession.
Not necessarily playing to lose, but just orchestrating more offense instead of just this like free flowing chuck it and run game.
Here's the thing that I've learned playing basketball, and I'm a student of the game. I love watching basketball.
It's the best sport.
I think I've learned so much watching it I think it helps me when I go play. I'm more patient. I don't force things. I don't do things I know I cannot do.
Playing out of your element.
There you go.
Yep.
And it's real simple. I'm still quick. I can still get up and down the court, and that's just where I'm going to score my points. So the outlet pass is there. And basically what I'm starting to see is this. If I'm playing you, Chris, your team, and you're playing against my team, and we are up 10, the percentage of us not being up by 10 in probably the first 3 to 5 minutes of the second half is very high. Very, very high. If we shot, I don't know, let's say we shot 53% in the first half, we're probably not going to shoot 53% in the second half. That's just, especially with us being up 10, because we're going to jack stuff up that we shouldn't be doing. It happens all the time. It goes back to what I told you guys before. The Bucks played against Boston at Boston. Okay? The Bucks were up 16 in going into the half. Boston beat them. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Bucks were up 16 going in half. Boston beat them by 11. Second half line was -3. That's an unreal swing. That's a 27-point swing, buddy. They were down 16 and they won by 11. It's crazy to me. But it just shows you. I mean, if I'm a coach and I'm up 16, for every 2 points you score or 3 points you score, all we need to score is 1. And even if we don't miss, even if we miss 2 to 3 possessions, which I don't know what, 16. And you chop that down, we still should win by at least 6 if we do it right. But again, a factor is basketball. There's a lot of things going on.
Matchups, the offense, what's going on.
Obviously, yeah.
Some guys roll, maybe somebody rolls their ankle.
Yeah,
basketball is a game of runs. It's
simple.
And in no time at all, you can have a brick transition outlet.
Yeah.
Transition.
I bet
brick transition outlet bucket turnover bucket. Yeah.
I bet a female last
3
year.
3 and 1, and then it's 9 points in 40 seconds,
and you're in the game.
And it's a 1 point, or that's a 7-point game now.
Yeah.
And we saw that last week in the Lakers game too.
Yeah,
where they got it, they got to like 8, or 10 or 8 going into the fourth quarter, and then and that was from 19. They did it once in the third quarter, got it to 10, and then the fourth quarter they did the same thing. They chopped 10 right on down to winning the game.
It happens.
It happens a lot.
Fast.
It happens a lot.
Very fast. Basketball's
the biggest swinging sport.
It is. Point differential. It's just crazy. I bet a chick last year. This chick in Texas. I think Atlanta was down 20 going into the half, and I told her. Obviously, Trae Young is amazing. I argue with a lot of guys about Trae, but we'll get to that in a second. So they were down 20. And I bet this chick, she's like, there's no way Atlanta's coming back. There's no way. I'm like, sweetheart, I don't think you understand how basketball works. And
how bad the Hawks really are.
Yeah, I mean, they are.
At that time, last year, Trae Young's rookie year, they're not holding on a 20-point lead against anybody.
They came back and they won.
The Hawks were down.
The Hawks were down 20. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
they came back and they won.
But Trae Young orchestrated that whole thing.
Of course. I'm pretty sure he had 30-plus that game. And that's just what it is. I mean, he's lethal for that offense. I mean, I was really scared when he tweaked the ankle.
I thought it was way worse.
Me too. I really did, because I was like, not only did he go left, he went it right. He tweaked it on both sides. It was pretty scary.
I thought the Hawks were going to instantly go into tanking mode.
Oh yeah, instantly. I was going to fade their ass no matter what. Yeah. I mean, I'm almost about to start fading the Hornets here pretty soon because I don't think they can score.
Speaking of tanking and fading, they shut Steph down.
Yeah,
the Warriors have shut Steph down.
I think to protect their money, I think it's smart. I mean, I saw him fall on that hand, and I was like, he's not coming back. There's just no way. I saw how. I mean, his hand literally was here, the elbow came forward, so I was like, ouch. I think he broke probably 4 fingers. I mean, like, if anything, his whole hand.
The whole hand.
You know, and when I saw it, I was like, no, there's no way. Why would you just sit out?
I mean, coming into the season, we kind of figured that the Warriors were it was gonna be hard for them to make the top 8 in the West.
It's coming.
Anyways,
it's
right?
Coming.
We especially with Clay being out, it was the Steph show. Like, we figured Steph's usage rate would be at an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, he was cooking,
and he was. But as soon as he goes down, he's gonna miss 3 months. That makes no sense to rush him back.
Yeah,
they're gonna go pick. They're gonna go. You know, They could land a top 3 pick. What if they add? You know, what if they add a guy like LaMelo Ball to that team?
Yeah,
you know,
well, who I think is. Listen, say what you want. The kid can play basketball.
It's either that.
I think they all can play basketball.
I think a better fit is to the Knicks. LaMelo to the Knicks with RJ. That would be lethal.
I mean, that'd be dope. I just don't like the Knicks at all. At all. I just think they're cursed, and every time I think I bet them this year, and I think I bet like 500 on it. I probably would never bet them again. It was probably the worst call I've ever made in my life. And I knew better. I actually know better. I know the Knicks so well, so well. I just know not to bet on them. And, you know, from a betting perspective, I always tell people to, you know, think of everything like a stock. Mm-hmm. If you bet on a team, there's 82 games in the season. Where can you make your money?
You're betting they're having an up day.
Yeah, but where can you make your money? So if you lose on the Knicks, what team can they beat?
Not Atlanta, not Philly, not the Heat.
Where you can make your money back.
Can they even beat the Cavs? You know, like, that's the point you're getting to, is that there's not a long list of teams where they can win their money back for you.
I was actually looking at that. I thought that was a scar. Get a towel, you're leaking, bro. Yeah, but I just you know, I punished myself for that. I didn't sleep well. I got my ass back in the lab, and
but you learned.
Yeah, I learned. And I'd probably never do. Just like I learned on the second half, 103. I was like, this is not going to lose.
That was a huge call.
There's certain bets that cross my path, and I just don't even look at numbers. I can see the flow. Like, a lot of people say, well, you don't even watch the game, so how do you know? I don't really need to see the games where you can, at halftime, I can look at the stats of the game. It's going to tell me what? Free throws, turnovers, fast break points, shooting percentage,
rebounds,
turnovers, everything.
Fouls.
It tells me everything I need to know.
Minutes played.
Then I go look at the plus minus. You know, what is the team doing? If the bench is producing, whoever they're playing is going to be a long night.
Yeah, that's just how it goes in the NBA.
It's going to be a long night.
You see that. That's something that we should look at more, is the bench play, because the
Clippers.
Teams that bring the bench win the games, man.
The Clippers bench is scary. Yep. It really is. It's unreal scary. And again, like I said, the green light. Everybody on the Clippers, they're having fun. They're not like, oh, Kawhi, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. They're not like, you know, I need the rock. No, it's everybody's just like, look, you're hot. I'm going to give you the rock, and we're just going to play.
We're just playing ball.
And I think that was the number one thing with the Golden State Warriors, where, yes, they had 2 sharpshooters. It was Splash Brothers, right? They won 70-plus games, or 73 games, right? Understandable. It makes a lot of sense. But the people are forgetting the number one thing. Have fun. Even in sport betting, I tell people all the time, I get it, but if you're not having fun while you're doing it, even if you're losing, I know it's kind of hard to say that because when you're losing, you can't have fun, but it still needs to be fun at the end of the day.
The important thing to remember when you get into that is that betting is definitely a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to just smack up and that be that. Like, you have to learn from your wins and your losses,
right,
and readjust to how the market fluctuates, really.
Yep. Hold on, Beast. I'll call you right back, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
What's up?
Hold still. I'll hit you back.
I'm looking at the PlayStation 4 thing, and it's like out the door, it's ended up being like $500 to get 1 terabyte in the game.
Don't even worry about that. I'll call you in a minute.
All right,
bye. My buddy's trying to get on NBA 2K. He's like, he doesn't have time to play it, just like I don't have time to play it. But, there's some nights I'm just like, all right, well, let's just jump on and get it done.
Fire it up and play. Fire it up and get on the sticks.
So we are on Washington Wizards first quarter, SharpTank, tonight. I'm going to keep my eye on Hornets team total under. They just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on over there. What do you think about the Hornets? What do you feel?
They're young. I like Bridges a lot.
Me too.
I just, you don't know what they're going to bring night in and night out. They're a team that you could probably catch them slipping quite often.
Yeah, because
Rozier's super erratic.
Yeah, I mean,
I like him. He's a dog.
He is. He gets it done, but I don't know, man.
Him being their first option, it's highly volatile.
And this is what I always tell people. A lot of people don't see this in NBA games. When you take a first stringer out and they play against the second team, when a starter is playing against the second, like a first string point guard is playing against a second string point guard, you get exposed very, very, very quick. Very quick, because you see these guys just can't keep up.
1 for 11 last night.
Who? Rozier. 1 for 11 last
1 for 11. From the field or 3-point?
They got ran off the court against Boston.
Yeah, and I knew, and I don't know why I didn't bet Boston second half. I felt it. I just couldn't do it. There's just certain numbers I'm just like, no, I'm just not going to touch. The Suns were favored over arguably our favorite team to be watching and betting right now, the Miami Heat, which I thought was very disrespectful.
The Heat are solid.
I did put out +1 in the SharpTank yesterday on Miami Heat. I ended up taking them first quarter. I made a mistake and bet them first half. But check this out.
Everyone was on it. You had full game. Albie was on the first quarter, right, and Paulo was on the first half.
There you go.
And I looked. Here's the thing. I was out working, and I was like, I'm going to stop in the casino real quick and take one of these 3.
Yeah, one of the 3.
And then I didn't make it. And then I checked, and all 3 hit, and I was like, oh, well, that's how that goes.
Yeah, I actually made a mistake and ended up betting the first half. I didn't mean to, but I didn't realize till today the first quarter and the first half was the same spread. It was a half point.
So a 1-point game.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So not only did Miami cover the full game, they covered second half.
They covered second half also.
Yeah, they did.
They
cleared the whole thing all the way across.
Cleared the board. How often does that happen?
On the plus side, it happens. Normally, it's whoever the team that's down at half comes back and covers the full game line and the second half line. Right. I see that a lot, and which means the dog covers first half. But it also depends on the total as well. If the total drops or goes up and down, it just kind of depends. So you got to be careful with those. But all in all, just like the Raiders last night, obviously I bet the Chargers money line. And
well, you told the one guy bump it all the way to +3.
Yeah, +3.
But he didn't. He couldn't.
Yeah,
and that would have covered.
And I actually covered on one of my books the +3. Buying points, I'm not against it. I don't encourage it, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to be a seasoned capper to understand the buying points thing. It could save you a lot. But the teasers are 10-2 in the SharpTank. I don't know if you guys know that.
# teaser gang.
Teaser gang. SharpTank 101. We are 10-2. Started off a little slow, which we expected that, but we are 10-2 our last 12. 2-team teasers, 6.7 points. Okay,
they smack.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's probably 60 to win 50, or 130 to win 100, or 100 to win 70, or however you bet, or whatever your betting margin is. 20 to win. I don't know, whatever that pays.
If you're 12-2,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I mean, you just got to take it for the grain of salt. Yep. But yeah, I mean, what I like tonight, I like Nuggets -5. I know they're playing against the 76ers.
Is there a letdown for the Sixers that you see?
No, I just think that's a very high confident line. -5. I'm probably going to end up betting the second half. The Denver Nuggets are a great third quarter team.
Who's at home?
Denver.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
When
and I think they've been covering the 5s too.
It's early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are probably not necessarily into their second legs yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we may see an altitude situation for the Sixers, and
we'll see. Denver is coming off a win last 2 games with the opponent scoring fewer or less than 100 points, or holding their opponent to 100 points. They are, I think, at 15-0. So there's a stat for you.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna run that. At least
be ready.
At least be ready second half.
I tell people all the time. Be ready at halftime.
Be ready.
And I would have hit the Raiders. I would have hit the second half of the Chargers yesterday. I think they ended up winning by. I think the missed field goal from the Raiders ended up making Chargers cover the half point. I think they won by 1 point. The score was 10-9, or something like that, or 10 to whatever it was. Or whatever the score was yesterday. Yeah.
I wasn't tracking at that point in time. We'll see.
Let me see real quick. NFL. The score was 10-9. Yeah. See, certain things like that just stay in my head. I don't know how I do it, but it just stays in my head. And the Chargers end up covering the minus half point. I like them. And just like the Temple versus USF game yesterday. We were looking at the same line, minus a half point. They were actually plus a half. Were they plus? I think they were plus a half point. And those lines I've been capping a lot. I tell people all the time, if you get a -1 on any game, I don't care if it's to see how fast your grandma runs down the stairs, or I don't care what it is, you should probably cap it. Because I just kind of feel like Vegas is trying to balance money on both sides. It's either going to be a straight blowout.
Vegas doesn't know. So you
they don't know.
You find the angle.
Listen, I don't care what anyone says. I know this for a fact. I know big-time gamblers in Jersey, New York, and these guys move numbers, okay? No name said, no platform said, but they're moving 6 figures a week. And I know how it works. I mean, regardless of, everyone has their own opinion. But there will be a guy, I'll give you an example. There'll be a guy that comes in and sees a -1 line, right? He'll lay 100,000 on one side, and then millions will start coming in on the other side just to move a line so the public gets a shitty line. So the guy that gets off of work at 5 o'clock is running to the casino to bet the NFL Monday Night Football game. It starts at 5:20. So he has 20 minutes to get to the casino, and by that time the line already moved 2 points, half point, or whatever. A 6.5 might be a 5 now, or a 5.5 might be a 6, or a 1.5 might be a pick'em, or a -1. So, the good thing about second halves is you can teach guys that do bet big money on games how to hedge out at halftime. I mean,
because you can create your middles.
Great middles. I had a great middle yesterday. The Clippers. We closed out the parlay. Shout out to the guys that follow me on my main wall. We did close out a 14 parlay. I didn't bet much on it. I bet $25 on it, but it still paid 100 and some change. So I'm going to take $150 or probably $120, $25, and we're going to do giveaways today. Make sure you follow us, SharpTank, on Instagram. And, we're going to give that money away. As I said I was going to do it. I kind of did it from a public perspective because that's just what it is. A lot of guys aren't touts, and a lot of guys that are touts and things of that nature, they're not giving back to the community. I feel like, I will never be tout. And the reason for that is I get a lot of guys that hit me up and they ask me, and it did cross my head. I was like, you know what? I could do this. I do think that I have the right individuals around me to where we can make a huge difference in people's lives. But what happens is JD's going to bet 2 plays of his own that he likes. He's going to bet my 2 plays. He's going to bet what Chris likes. And then a buddy of his might call him, and it might deter him from doing something else. So now you got 9 plays. By that time,
it's hard. You're going to be
it's already done.
Split right in the middle, basically.
What do you do?
Yep.
So I think for me, the money management part is very important.
It's the biggest piece.
And I tell guys this all the time. If you can bet 2 games a day at $50, I don't care. Let's say not the dollar amount, but I'm going to use this as a reference because I've been using this for over the years. If you bet 2 games a day at $50, that's 100. Times 7 is what?
700.
Times 4 is what? 2,800. Times 12. There you go. Just to hit a button.
84.
So if you can't pick 2 games a day, why are you betting?
Then you're in the wrong business.
A lot of guys are just trying to take small profits and make it into big. We can do that, but over time, if you don't have open parlay option, which Vegas doesn't offer, clearly, Vegas doesn't even have team totals. I think the only casino that offers team totals is the Palms, and maybe MGM.
Not even Westgate.
And
they say they do everything.
So again, you have to have tools. You don't show up to a plumbing job with no
pliers,
no nothing. Like what? It's like you guys coming with no cameras.
Yep.
It's like, well, what are you gonna do, buddy? You got a photograph? Remember, you're gonna just take it and just create something? No, I mean, you have to have your tools when you go battle. And me, again, I've built a team over the years. Okay, no credit just goes to just I literally have solid guys that I've spent years with. Okay, I mean, hard capping 3-4 in the morning, getting back up at 7 a.m. and we just figured it out. We bounce ideas off of each other. We see the same thing. I'll post something, literally a second later, somebody else will post it right after me. That means that we're basically we're on the same wavelength,
same page.
And it's very important that you have this type of perception and this type of energy flowing with the guys that you're going with. Because I have guys that are calling second half lines, no line needed. That's impressive.
Yeah, they know who's going to take off.
I've done it on Twitter plenty of times. I've won more call in second halves, no line needed before Vegas even dropped the line. Probably more than any capper in the game. And I honestly can stand on that. And I literally can. It's because when you bet so many bets and you see so many numbers, they start to repeat. Okay? They really do. You start to see the same movement, the same reverse line movement and things of that nature. But again, like I said, a guy that will come in the casino and bet $100,000 on the Warriors minus 12 against Dallas in Dallas, and he sees his team down 20. Why would he? Did the Clippers? Do you guys know what the Clippers second half over under was yesterday?
Not off the top of my head.
Let me check right now. It was 117.5. Do you know what the first half score was? The first half score between the Clippers and the Blazers was 8-10, carry to 1, 40-47. The first half score was 99. The second half over-under was 118. Okay, my line was 100.
That's a red flag.
117.5 is what I saw.
They're basically trying to get the public to think, 99 points. 117 is way too much. That's going under.
I looked at it, and I hit my guys up in my chat, and I was like, this is going over. No one's going to bet this. I literally said no one is going to bet this. I will literally screenshot it and post it on social media in my chat. I literally did. It was scary. I was like, wait, they scored 90-something points, and you're saying they're going to score 117 points. I'm like, that's Vegas showed their hand.
They knew
no one's going to bet that based off what they saw in the first half. So public goes off what?
What they've seen.
So again, I try to teach guys not to go off what you saw last, but use it as a reference, okay? Because it can really create a lot of bias and it can really clog your head.
Well, this is a situation where you saw it first. You knew. You just know. You've seen it so many times.
And on a +1, literally, I'll screenshot that too. I literally told Larry, no cap. I told Larry straight up. I was like, bro, this bet looks ugly, but it is the right call. And he literally was like, G, it is the right call. I like it. Let's hit it. And we hit it. Simple as that. We tore that ass up. They covered the second half. Now, I don't know what happened in the last probably minute and 15 a minute, 20 seconds to happen in the game, because I really thought that the 5.5 wasn't going to cover. 5.5 it's a weird line. You got to be careful with 5.5s in the NBA. I've seen them happen on the plus side than on the minus side. Now, again, I'm not saying take it. I'm not saying, oh, my God. No, look, things happen. What goes up must come down. Trends change, lines change, numbers change. We just need to make sure we're on Vegas' side so we can laugh with Vegas. That's the number one thing that I try to teach guys. And money management. I think that's the number one thing that people are having a problem with is why you think – and I say this, why do you think they have primetime games?
Because everybody's watching it already. Everybody's chasing too.
So all the games throughout the day, right? I pay attention to all the NFL games. I can tell you when the second half starts. Sunday at 11:10 Pacific time is when second half start. Okay? Straight up. How do I know this? Because I've been betting this for the years. Forever. I don't even wake up until 11 o'clock. I literally throw some water on my face, brush my teeth, cut my computers on. By 11:10, I'm strapped. I'm ready to go. I already know what time it is. So I don't even need to. I don't care about
what happened. You don't care about what they saw.
I don't care. All I need to know is what happened. What's the score?
Yep.
Okay. And how do I take the first half score with the second half line and match that up with the full game score? And where's the public on the full game? Where was the opening line? Where was the closing line? Now I'm tracking opening and closing lines of the second halves. I actually have a program that gives us that information now. So now I can go to my guy Zach. Shout out to my boy Zach in Florida, my data boy. That's been putting in major work. Like I said, I have a great team around me. And I think once we all get on the same page capping-wise, watch out.
It's going to be deadly.
Watch out. We're coming.
Yep.
I specifically I will wake up and won't say anything in the chat just to see if they're working on their craft.
Who's working?
I have to. Because here's the thing.
If
they're not making me better, I can't be around them. Mm-hmm. Too much noise will clog your head. I got a lot of things that go on in the second half, and I think maybe, on maybe one of the podcast segments, maybe we'll bring the iPads in and, a couple phones and maybe a laptop, and I'll kind of walk you through what I do second half wise and what am I looking at and what programs I'm using, because I have two systems. I have an at-home system, which I'm in my zone. When I'm at home, I don't have distractions. There's not a lot of noise. It's myself and the computers. There you go. So whoever makes the mistake is on me. When I'm out and about and I'm eating with the family or whatever, I can still cap as well, but it's a little harder on the phones where you gotta, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of things going on.
You get better looks from desktop versions.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I logged into SI on my phone. You can't even read it on your phone. You have to be on a desktop for it.
You have to be on the desktop.
It's impossible to read.
It is. I mean, don't get me wrong.
You can do it.
You can tweak it. I mean,
it's just a pain.
I could do it.
Yeah.
If I really needed it to. The problem is I have to turn my phone and certain versions and landscape mode versus, the other mode, it slows you down. And then me personally, I get very angry.
Well, you want to be looking at that against three other things. And you can't do that on the phone.
And here's the thing. We have college basketball going right now. Okay. Every day. There's a college basketball game probably every single day.
For the next 6 months?
There you go. And then we have
3 months, 4 months, 4 months.
NCAA football going. And then we have NBA going. And then we have
NFL.
NBA, NFL, and college football still going. Okay, yes. You have to be able to cap. Now, thank God, shout out to Sports Insight, because I'm able to click all the games that I want to cap and put them underneath one category. So I can physically see when their second half's going and how much time we have. Now, if I see a school that's just like Kansas, by the way, I'm taking Kansas minus 15 today, for those who don't know. And hopefully, I don't know if you're going to be able to air this, but we're looking at Kansas minus 15 today, by the way. I got that written down. Playing against a no-name school, and they're up 36 at half. I don't even want to cap the second half. I mean, why? If Alabama football is up 41-0, why double dip? There's certain games I think we can hit and we can find middles, as we said before, the Clippers versus the Blazers.
But not in these tune-up games.
Nah.
These are tune-up games.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We took shout out to my boy Larry. We took Clemson minus 11 first half. It cashed, of course. And I'm pretty sure they killed him second half as well. But that's what I'm saying. You can double dip on games like that, but sometimes you don't really need to.
That's a situation where Kansas is probably trying to feel themselves a little bit.
Figure
themselves out. They're probably going to play a deep bench into the second half a little bit also.
I think they're going to crush tonight.
Yeah.
I forget who they're playing tonight, but I saw minus 15. I don't even look at the teams. I just look at the line. I saw minus 15, look at Kansas. I was like, yeah, they should blow them out. They should. I look at who Wizards is playing tonight. I'm like, yeah, first quarter. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's tagged to the Kevin Love thing.
Yeah, and that's definitely tagged to the Kevin Love thing. So we'll see what happens, and we'll keep track of it. I'll give you guys just a couple. Obviously, hopefully we get this aired before Sunday. But I like the Cleveland Bills under. I don't know. It's at 40, and I'm like, why? it's there for a reason. 40 and 41s I kind of pay attention to. Those are like old school numbers for those who've been around for a long time. Actually, those numbers are probably older than me. I just have a lot of OG cappers that's been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And, we talk to each other on Twitter a lot and things of that nature. I like the Cardinals plus 4.5. I think it's just a weird line. Like, why 4.5? Why not 3.5? Why not 3? Football numbers, for those who don't know, is there's only 2 ways to score. 3 and 7. Well, nowadays, 3 and 6. 6 guys can't hit 25-yard field goals, which I lost $2,000 on because the guy missed a field goal. There you go.
You also have safeties, but those are super rare.
Yeah, we're seeing safeties now, and I don't know if anybody else is paying attention, but I think what the NBA and MLB and NHL is trying to do is speed the game up. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to hockey. There are a lot of fucking goals scored now, just like the MLB. I have never seen this many home runs and this many hits and runs scored in a game in a very long time.
They're trying to generate fans, man. They're trying to generate viewership.
And again, it goes back to the perception factor. Even with the Nationals winning the World Series, I told guys all the time, I said, what better storyline would it be? And again, don't shoot me down for this, okay? And I tell people this all the time. I try not to talk politics. I'm from Washington, D.C., and as you guys can see, I have the Nationals on my chest, right? But politics is politics, and it is what it is. And I'll say this from deep down inside, and I genuinely really mean this. I don't care what president is in the White House. I never have, never did, and it doesn't affect me. So grind hard. Simple as that. You know what I mean?
That was like a good story for the DC area.
Yeah, and that's why I loved it. Trump,
no one had them, bro. They were a basement team. We did standing predictions on Grip It Rip It when the season started.
Crazy.
We had them
Unreal.
in the basement, man.
And
it wasn't just us.
No, I knew them kids could hit. Okay,
but you figured
what they did on the road in the World Series was amazing. And I'm talking after the 5th inning. Okay,
and they beat a team. Well, it was they hit late, right?
They hit late, and it is
something that you don't see. You don't see.
I bet them the first 2 times at plus money, and I bet a significant amount of money on them. And I don't bet dogs. It's rare. It's very rare. I'd rather bet the plus 1.5 and spend the minus 160. And a lot of cappers will probably say, well, you're spending minus 160 juice. Well, they call me the juice man for a reason.
The public's been hammering Houston for 3 years now.
Yeah, there you go.
So they had to get their money back.
And I tell people all the time, how much money did Mattress Mac put on the Astros?
$8.5 million or something like that.
All right, we can skip the subject now. I'll just leave that at that. We don't need to go into that. All I'm gonna say is, how much money would the casino would have paid out if you'd have won? They would have took a big hit, right?
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't lose, buddy.
It's right there.
Vegas doesn't lose, buddy. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got. And UCF's playing tonight. I'm going to take their team total over, I think it's 43 or 44. I expect them to come out and win the first quarter. I expect the first quarter to go over. I expect them to be up by at least 20, 21, 3. I expect them to be up at least by 3 touchdowns before halftime. Their defense is...
So that first half minus 10.
I like it.
You like it again?
I like
that
it
also?
I like it. But I like the
Full
team.
game?
I like the 17 as well. But they're 72% on UCF. They're playing against garbage truck juice team. And we'll see what happens. They got 3 games left. I'm hoping they can finish out strong. And, we'll see what happens. I'll go back and do a little bit of homework on them, and I'll tally up. And, stay tuned.
So real quick, before we sign off here, did you want to give your NBA surprise blow-up player this year so far?
Blowout player? What, a rookie or someone that...
I mean the guy we were talking about right before. Because I have one. I went to...
Jay Warren! The guy is a stud.
He's balling.
Okay?
This is a good situation for him.
Here's the thing. Let's just stop right now. Go type in TJ Warren NC State highlights.
I don't have to, man.
If you didn't,
ACC scoring, bro.
If you didn't see that, if you didn't pay attention to him when he was listen, that jump from college to NBA is very tough.
Takes time.
It's tough.
He's still young.
He's a dog.
He's super dog.
And he is he's a dog that when you walk by, when he barks, he might hop the fence. He's one of those guys. Athletic ability, long. I just think his IQ of the game. I think he's not thinking.
It's fine. The game's finally slowed down.
I think he kind of understands, like, okay, God's giving me this ability. Obviously, the guy can score. He can shoot the three. He can mid-range. He can dunk. He can. I mean, he's
even
just
got a little post game.
He's all over, bro. Yep. And I really like seeing these type of things because it's flashbacks of guys that aren't afraid to grab the ball. I love a guy that can shoot a mid-range jumper. Okay, I think that's what the NBA is missing. I love that. I love when Kyrie shoots an NBA. I love it. And I like that big men are shooting threes, even though I hate the three-pointer. Everybody that plays with me knows I hate the three-point line, and I'll tell you why. There's only a handful of guys I've played with: Lou Kelly, Wink, Paul. There's a few more guys out there. Chris, that I've played with. The Twins. The Twins are good at shooting threes.
JD.
Earl. JD has a
strap.
Yo, I almost called JD Jansport for a couple minutes because he's ultra strapped.
Was that the biggest surprise?
No. I've seen a video of him dunking, and I saw his load up, and I was like, oh shit, JD was a real baller. Like you could just tell. I could tell he wasn't even trying to like get off the ground. But I saw you in that blue shirt getting off, dunking the ball, and I was like, holy shit! If JD drops 10 pounds,
it's flight school.
I might mess around and grab the jersey off and we might just have to go enroll in the YMCA league and just call it an OG league and just start some things. Which
I'm down to do that.
Which we're working on right now as well. So especially with the gyms coming this upcoming year. So.
My guy is on the Magic, second-year player Jonathan Isaac from Florida State.
Scary.
Super scary. I'll go a step further. He's going to be way better than TJ Warren.
I agree.
I have him written down as he's the next superstar to be. Like, as far as guys under the radar who are in the league, who are going to blow up.
Yeah. I like him.
It's him.
On paper, he's static.
He plays 4 positions, 1 through 4, handles the ball. He's 6'10". He's leading the NBA in blocks as a shooting guard.
Bro, the kid is scary.
Scary.
Okay?
Dude.
When I say scary, I mean, like, I watch him in the offense now, and I'm just like, wow, if they can just figure this out over here.
Well, it's the TJ Warren thing. Let's see what happens in 2 more years for Jonathan Isaac. You know,
I want to see these guys match up against, the James Hardens. Because for me, I'm a defensive player. Yep. I love defense. Okay, I don't like to give up anything. No buckets at all. Anyone that plays with me, they know I'm very vocal on the court. I'm like a Westbrook almost. I just don't shoot the ball.
Like a coach.
Yeah, and the thing is because if you have a God-given talent, use it. When we get on the court, it's, we're not friends. I'm here to bust your ass. And I tell guys that come play with me all the time, I'm not your friend on the court. Okay? It's just as simple as that. Like I don't drive 23 miles to Lifetime to play in a Lifetime league, or I don't drive 24 miles away from my house to come lose.
And laugh about it.
Some people are just losers. They don't know no better. Some people are losers and they don't even know that they're losers. It's because they haven't had a chance to taste winning. And I think once you taste winning, and I'm not just talking from a basketball perspective. I'm just talking from a betting perspective, from a life perspective.
It's a general perspective.
Once you position yourself around people that love to win, it's an amazing thing. It's almost like you don't accept losing.
Yep.
And
it becomes contagious.
Losses are going to happen.
It goes in both ways, and it's very contagious.
Yeah. I mean, listen, without positive, there's negatives, and obviously
and those things feed off of each other like crazy.
You got to have them both to have both balance. But I just think it's just one of those things to, when you position yourself around the right team and the right people, I think that energy is that nucleus is strong. It's strong, and I feel like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
And I don't think anybody. If I put my 5 against anybody's 5 capping wise, it'll get scary. It would get scary. I mean, if I can handpick 5 of the guys I want on my team, if we did a 5-on-5 capping duel, which I'm open to, very, very,
we know
very
where to
open
put that. We could put that off too.
My inbox is always open. As you can see, my phone's been going off the whole entire time, and as you can see, my Twitter it's just not going to stop.
Those capping duels are great for a couple of reasons. They're great to see the banter. They're great to see the shit talking. That's fun. But what it does is it drives people to put out even better picks and better winners and be more in tuned.
It all comes down to money management.
Yeah,
and unit management. That's what it comes down to. I can bet $2,000 on a game, and then I can come back and I can bet $250 on a quarter. You want to know why? Because I just feel like quarters are worth that much. you know, and I've learned, you know, throughout my betting career, I should say, or capping career, or whatever they call it nowadays. I have learned that there are bets out there that are worth 10,000. I mean, Boston down 16. Second half line was -3.
Last night, the 103.5.
103.5. The 117.5 that moved to 118.
That's another one.
No one's gonna bet it.
But
those are the bets you want to go. Those are the ones you want to
go in.
Those are the ones you want to pull the trigger on.
Yeah.
So, my buddy Will's calling me. Yeah, I mean, there's just certain things that you just kind of see, and I knew better on the Chargers money line thing. I should have waited till halftime. I could have hedged out. The line was weird. It was a really hard cap. -0.5 point, -140. Bovada was showing in -145, which is a death number. It's not accurate. It's not 100%. Nothing's ever 100%.
No. But that's a trap. That's a trap.
But again, I was in a chat where people were saying, you know, it's not the right line. And again, it goes back to what I tell you before. Sometimes you have to step away from the crowd.
Well, what was one of your guys had it? He said it was the last primetime game at home for the Raiders ever.
My buddy Stan.
They're not going to lose that shit.
It's all perception. This is what I'm saying.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Stan. I mean, and he's quiet. He's very quiet. The guy wins. He's very quiet, but he wins. He wins. I see every ticket. And we talk at work a lot. We bounce out. I mean, we've crushed bets together on first five. I've seen him hit first fives and money lines on the full game. He'll see me on the full game, and he'll hit the first five, and he'll text me and be like, "Hey man, look, I like the first five. Check it out." I'll look at the numbers.
First 5 run lines. That's where I first broke in at.
And here's the thing I always tell people too. It goes back to the numbers. A lot of casinos don't offer a plus half point and a plus half point and a minus half point first five. That's don't. A very important line. Do you guys know how many times that I've been in chats and I've called? I said, guys, the score is 3-0, and the team that's down with the 0 that didn't score any runs. I said, watch this. Watch the 5th inning.
Here they come.
I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass.
That's the third time
for deleting the full
There's
game, guys. I posted a lot of key information in that group. And I haven't realized it till now. I really did. I was posting so much information to where when I see it now, I'm like, damn, I can't screenshot it now because I got rid of the group.
Yep. You should have archived it instead of deleting it.
Yeah. But I will say this. The guys that were in there, they see it.
Yeah. Like
my boy Jay from Hawaii, who now lives in Vegas. He sees it. You know, and I would love to break the game down for everybody. I really would, but I'm sorry, I just don't have a lot of time to do it. You know, I got 10 second halves going on, and I got a guy that's calling me that bets $2,000 a game, and he's like, "Yo, what should I bet? I'm down 10 G's." Fuck, I'm trying to help this guy out. He's down 10 G's, and he's calling me, you know, for a second half play. You know, and I'm like, buddy, the 10 G's is gone. Why you chasing? Why you chasing?
Stop chasing.
That shit's gone. You know, and again, it goes back to me trying to teach guys the money management part. The 5 G's you lost last week, it's gone, buddy. Let's bet $250 a game and try to win you 500 in 3 days, so you can get some of it back.
And let's not turn around and take the 5 G's you won last week and just
and blow
flush it.
Blow it
and flush it.
Listen, I got a guy in Legit Picks. Shout out to Kyle Miller in Legit Picks, because that's basically where we all started. Without Legit Picks, I don't meet you.
That's where I first ran into you.
Without Legit Picks, I don't meet JD. You know, so it's just one of those things, and it's just money management. I mean, I got a guy in Legit Picks right now. He's probably up $15,000 off $100. It's very doable right now. You guys saw I posted on my wall all the open parlays that I've hit over the last few weeks. It took me 3 weeks to close 5 open parlays. It just takes time, guys. You got to be patient.
Everyone wants to just do it.
Yeah,
right now, but it
is
a marathon.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Real simple.
We're gonna come back to that every time.
Every time. All right. Well, like I said, you guys know where I am. I appreciate you guys, reaching out and allow me to do this so we can, start getting some of these videos out, professional videos out to the public, because I think they need to see it.
They do.
ESPN is very biased. A lot of guys get on ESPN and they try to find information. They get on covers and try to find information, and they get on these platforms and try to find information.
They're looking at the wrong
You're
sources.
looking at the wrong things. And I'll say this from
those are the trap things. Those are the things that are going to
seasoned
sway
guy
your
that's
perception.
been around, that's lost a ton of money, and that's won a significant amount of money. So I just find my balance. The names on the jerseys mean nothing. cap the lines and be okay with dying on numbers. If you call a play and you lost by 2 to 3 points, free throws, okay. It is what it is. The last minute in college basketball is hell. It's hell. You want to know why? Because guys can't make free throws.
Yep.
Simple as that.
It's the easiest thing in the game, and they can't do it.
That's it. All day long, all day strong, no leave. Yep. So I'm gonna end it on this note. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. And if it doesn't add value to your life, I suggest that you subtract it. So I'll end it on that note. And we're already looking at some first quarter bets over here. And Wizards first quarter, we like Kansas minus 15. I like Nuggets minus 5. I'll probably wait the second half. And Cleveland versus Bills under. Cardinals plus 4.5. And I like the Lions over against the Bears.
Nice.
So we'll see what's up. We'll catch you guys on the next one. This is SharpTank 101 Choco.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, guys. Our Facebook group. Like, follow, subscribe. Our Facebook group is SharpTank. It is $15 a month. It is like I want to say it's like a gym membership. It's where you get worked out.
It's worth it solely on entertainment.
It is. It's worth it. It's really worth it. We have a lot of clowns.
You can't make the $15 back
in the first
day.
Probably in the first 2 days. If you don't make your $15, if you lose $15, I will literally let you stay in the group for a month, and I will pay you $15 at the end of the month. I'm not kidding. Literally, that's why I partnered up with them and said, yes, this is smart. This is what I want to do, and I got you guys. I'll put the foot to the gas, and we'll press on it.
That's what we're doing.
And then, on Twitter, hold on, let me get my Twitter handle. Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place when it comes to this stuff. Hopefully, we hire a social media person here pretty soon. So, at SharpTank_Choco on Twitter, at Sharp SHARPTANK _Choco CHOCO. That's the Twitter. Okay. And we are on Instagram. Instagram's been popping. It's been flying across. We started with no followers at all. We got about 67 followers right now, which is pretty good. But you can look us up, SharpTank 101 on Instagram. Sharp as in sharp, like a sharp knife. Tank as in tank, TANK 101. And we'll be up on some other platforms, YouTube and Anchor, and hopefully iTunes here pretty soon. And stay tuned.
Come swim with the big fish.
Come swim with the big fish at the Sharp Tank. We're out.